Good morning to everyone. Department of Technical Education, Telangana. My name is T. Rajshekar, working as a lecturer in civil engineering, SRRS Government Polytechnic, Sirsila. So today I am going to teach you the subject Construction Management and Entrepreneurship. So this is for the civil engineering students of final year 5th semester, and the subject code is 18C 502C. So today's topic we are going to see, that is preliminary planning and its importance, from the chapter of Introduction and Organizational Aspects. So let us move into the topic. Objectives. Objectives. On completion of this period, you would be able to define planning and state the conditions necessary for planning. So as we seen in the previous class regarding the introduction of our organizational aspects and how the planning conditions will be there. So and next is know the data required for planning and how the planning will be required, we will be learning in this topic. And next we will see the know the importance of planning. So why the planning is important for a engineer and why the planning should be done in the construction management. And we have seen the various topics such as what is the construction management and what is the use of construction management and why the construction management is necessary and their objectives we have seen in the previous topics. So now we are going to see the planning also. So this planning is very important in the civil construction sites, because without proper planning the construction works will be not working as a smooth and in a manner way. Okay, so that's why we have to know how the planning should be done and who the planning should be done and what are the specifications for a planning should be done, we are going to learn here. Okay, and so for before planning we have what is the data required, that is the main concept here. First of all, for planning, for example, yesterday I have said that is nothing but if you want to construct a house you have to plan how much the amount will be there and how much the estimated cost of the building will be done and what are the rooms in the building and whether it is a ground floor or first floor and how many floors we have to construct and what are the specifications used in the concrete mixes. Everything should be planned. So without proper planning a structure cannot be constructed. So here we are going to see the data also regarding the planning. And next is importance of planning. Why the planning is very important? Because the planning is the major step in the construction activities. So without a proper importance of planning, there is no planning in the construction industries. Okay, so that's why it is the planning is very important. So let us see now, in the previous class once we have discussed, that is regarding the management. So what is the management? We have seen that is nothing but planning, organizing, controlling and coordinating the various systems operated in the constructions. Okay, so that is regarding the management. And here the meaning and objectives of construction management we have seen. So and next we have seen the need of construction management. So why the construction management is necessary. Okay, so why it is necessary in the construction field majorly. So this construction management is a team just like working need of planning, organizing and coordinating. Okay, and next is the factors involved in construction management and the scope of construction management. So these are the topics we have seen in the previous class. So I think we have discussed regarding the each and every point in the factors and scope of construction management. So now let us see, here we are asking a question that is nothing but, can you recollect what construction management is? So can you identify what is the construction management. So that means what is the how the construction management will be done. So that is nothing but recollection. Here you can see the construction management is a systematic method which involves, as we discussed in the previous class, that is first point is planning, organizing, coordinating and controlling the various activities in any construction industry. So in any construction industry means examples just like infrastructure, okay, and next buildings, and next railways, okay, and next you can see roadways. So these are all nothing but construction industries. And you can see the power generation also, the power generation companies also known as industries. So many industries we are having in the construction field. So everything is nothing but we will call it as construction works, okay. Whatever the work is related with steel, concrete, aggregates, sand, that is known as construction work, okay. You remember this is related with the our civil engineering only, okay. So here nothing but we are saying that construction management is a systematic method. The systematic method means it is a complete method and it is going in a smooth manner, okay. So it is a called systematic, okay. So in a following the plans, organizing and coordinating, controlling, these are the systematic way. So one by one, first we will do the planning, okay, and next we will implement the plan, that is called organizing, okay, and organizing after we will be explaining the procedure how to construct and how to move in the construction site, that is nothing but coordinating, and we have to talk with each other in the site premises like with the labor and with the engineers and with the coordinators of workers, okay, whoever are there we have to coordinate them and they we have to allow the work to them to how to do, okay. So that is nothing but coordinate and controlling. This controlling it is also very major important point. So proper control should be there in the construction sites. So not only in the construction site, in the construction management we have to keep the proper control. So without proper controlling the various activities, just like I have done the concrete work or steel work or any painting work or any bar bending schedule works, so these are all nothing but various activities in the construction industries will be done, okay. So that is regarding the our construction management. So here some of the points are also discussed, that is nothing but construction management involves planning, organizing, coordinating, controlling. So now let us see what is planning. So first of all, now our question has came, what is planning? So in a brief manner, the planning is having a very important points. So let us see now here the process of determination. Okay, what is here? The process of determination and formulation of the different steps and events in a particular task, okay. So here determination means we have to identify, we have to create innovative, okay. So how we have to do, that is called determination. And formulation means what the determination we have done that we have to implement in the plan, okay. So for example, you see a site layout, any ground plan is there, okay. So the process generally determining, okay. So some of the different steps are nothing but in the planning we will get so many types of steps, just like events, okay. What are the events means? In a house construction we are having the basement work, foundation work, okay, column work, staircase work, slab work, these are called events in any construction, okay. And particular task we are calling it as a particular task. So if the proper planning is there, the proper work will be done. If the improper planning or incomplete planning will be there, there will be no successful work, okay. So and here preliminary planning. So what is the meaning of preliminary? So preliminary is also called primary. That means before, if you are constructing any site or any construction structure, so we have to plan, that is primary. Okay, so that is called imagination, how it will be there. Let us see here the planning carried out by the engineering department on initiation of the proposal for a project either from public or government. So this is a good example. You can see here the planning carried out by the engineering department on initiation of the proposal for a project either from public or government. So that means, so this project, whatever, suppose you can see in villages or in the cities, if you want to construct any road or any bridge, so we have to take the a proposal, that means a suggestions from the public and from the government also. So here from public we will taking the suggestions, just like whether a road is required or not, or whether any bridge is required or not. Okay, here any construction process should be done or not, we have to take the suggestions from the public, and so that after that suggestions from the public we have to implement the planning, that is nothing but from the engineering department we have to keep a proposal to the government. So these government will be giving the permission. Okay, so these government will be giving the permission from the any structure work which is related for the public useful. Okay, so that is called preliminary planning. Okay, so without preliminary planning, if you are constructing a direct any works, so that will be the some of the problems will be occurred for the public and whereas for the government also. Okay, so everything is important for the environment, pollution or any this avoiding the creating the anything, it should be related with the public and government. Okay, so this preliminary planning is very important, and this will be dealt by the engineering department, such as civil engineering department will be there in the government. And next you can see here while planning. Okay, so first we are while planning we have to do site investigation. Okay, site investigation has to be carried out and the department has to submit preliminary estimate along with the project report. So this is a very important point. So if you are constructing any structure or any type of project work in the location, so first of all we have to visit the site compulsory, and we have to observe the things there, how the site was there. So not we have to observe morely on the ground, also we have to observe the surrounding areas also. So why we have to observe the surrounding areas means, so to complete the successful project within a time and with less budget amount, we are having certain principles. That is, first of all, the main concept, the water should be available near the site. Okay, and the next is the power generation, the power facility should be available nearby the site to use the power in the construction works. Okay, and next the people, the workers should be available nearby the locality of the areas, so that they can come in time and they can go in time. Okay, if any long any other places they are coming, so the site work will be done very low. Okay, and next materials, this is a very important point. So in the site investigation we have to need the materials also, just like steel, cement, aggregates, sand. So these four categories are very important for the any construction of the structure. So if these materials are nearby available, just like quarries. Okay, you know the quarry, so where the rock structures will be blasted and make it into the pieces, that pieces will be taken to the quarries. So there the machinery will be there, it will be cutting into the small types of pieces, just like we will call it as 40 aggregates, 20 aggregates and 60 aggregates. So it will be coming into the angular shape that will be used in the our construction works. Okay, so these materials also should be available in the near sites, and moreover we have to look the road or transport facility. Okay, this is the another important point. So these five categories are very useful for the site investigation. So this site investigation is very important in this planning compulsory. Okay, so whether you are constructing any type of project, okay, whether it is a central government project or whether it is a state government project or whether it is a international project, so whatever the project it is, nothing but first we have to investigate the site, and next coming into the depth into the site, that is we have to test the soil also. Okay, whether it is a loose soil or whether it is a hard soil or whether it is a any rocky structure. Okay, so we have to investigate the soil and everything also. Okay, and whether any water is appearing from the ground levels. Okay, so this also we have to test it, and we have to test the water of the ground levels. So whether the water is polluted or whether it is acidic water or whether it is normal water we can use for the construction, we have to investigate. Okay, and we have to clean the site, whether any trees or any rocks are there in the location, that should be cleared and we have to investigate. Okay, so in the preliminary planning this is very important. A site investigation is very important and it is to be carried out. So after investigation in the site, it should be carried out to the department. So concerned department, that is nothing but civil engineering or any public health department or any finance department. Okay, for approval of a project work. So we have to, after calculating everything, the site investigation report what we have done, we have to go to the department and we have to submit them the preliminary estimate. So this preliminary estimate is also called approximate estimate. So this is not called detailed estimate. Okay, preliminary estimate is also called approximate estimate. Approximate estimate means, so approximately at this much amount will be done in the site. So this much amount of construction will be done for this structure. So that is nothing but preliminary estimate. And detailed estimate, or you can see that is actual estimate. Detailed estimate, you will get the actual quantity and how much was done. So that is the difference between here the preliminary estimate and detailed estimate. Okay, so from along whatever the project report we have prepared, so we have to keep the estimate report and we have to keep the site investigation report. Okay, so these two reports should be done with the project report, that is called our preliminary planning. So after successful of submission to the department, we will get the permission from the concerned authorities. Okay, and the next is planning. So in the planning, it is an essential tool in the construction industries. So without proper planning, I have saying so many times, without proper planning we cannot do any type of work. Okay, so it decides in advance what is to be done. So from the starting itself I am saying this word. So planning is nothing but in advance what is to be done, what to be do today or what to do from tomorrow or in the coming years or coming days, what is the work we have to done. If we plan today only, it will be easy for everyone in the constructions. Okay, and for the improvement of the flow of work, the first step to be taken is the planning of the work in various stages. Okay, so here in the planning of the work in various stages, the work should be done. So that is nothing but it will be improvement of the flow of work. This planning decides the work what to be done in advance. Okay, and it will be improving the flow of work, and that means smooth, without any disturbance the work will be done in the, if the proper planning will be done. Okay, and the first step is nothing but that is taken in the planning of the work in various stages. So in any construction work we will be taking the various steps in the construction. The planning is the primary tool. Okay, so after the planning only the organizing or controlling or coordinating will be done. and some of the conditions are there. So conditions necessary for the preliminary planning, so that means how we have to do the planning, and if you do the planning in a certain way, what are the requirements you have to need. So the first one is knowledge of work to be done and its necessity. So that means, so whatever the planning we are doing, we have to think properly in a successful way, and the for the construction of works we have to keep it in the mind, that is nothing but knowledge of work. So whether it is related to the civil engineering or whether it is related to the any other works, so that should be done knowledge of work. Okay, and what is the necessity we have to mention here. So that is nothing but the preliminary planning. And the next is the amount of money to be spent and the best way of doing it. That means here the amount of money, how much will be appeared for the planning, so that should be planned. And best way of doing it means how this money will be planned and how this should be spent in the construction work. So that will be here nothing but the way of doing it. So the best way of doing it means if you properly planned in a certain, in a ideological way, the money also will be spent in that way only. Okay, so if you planned more and more, so the money will be wastage. That means planning also should be done in the correct way. That is the main requirement here. And the next is knowledge of the capacity of the establishment. So the establishment means the knowledge of the capacity, whatever the uh, preliminary planning we are doing. So the implementing the planning in the construction works or in any construction management, so we have to keep the capacity. Okay, the capacity of establishment work should be done in the planning, and knowledge of the preferential order of doing it. So after planning, so we have to take the permission from the concerned authorities, so it should be given by them. So that is known as the preferential order. So these preferential order also they should give properly, because if any planning was not done in any certain way, or whether it is a failure in our planning also, so they cannot give the preferential order. So if the planning is in the correct way and if we are implementing it's our best, so the knowledge of the preferential order will be given. Okay, so this is the some of the conditions. And next is data required for planning. So moreover, we are thinking that there is no data required for the planning, but here we have to need the sum of the data also. Okay, so the data is very important for the construction. So for example, you see for planning any hospital or any college building. So suppose you see planning any hospital building, so what type of planning will be done? So whether it is a small hospital or any big hospital or any multi-specialty hospital. Okay, so how many patients will be there? That means 100 or 500 or 1000. Okay, and what are the types of rooms should be there? Doctors, nurses. Okay, and how many wardrooms or any bathrooms. Okay, and operation rooms, and what are the certain types of rooms are required in a building, we have to think. And what is the area of the construction site, and how much quantity of amount will be planned for this project. So that detailed we have to plan and we have to kept in the project work. So that is just only the example. So let us see clearly that what is the data required. So that is first of all, you can see here need for the proposed project. So if you are planning anything, so the project is whether useful for you or any for the public. Okay, so if it is useful for the public, so what type of project it is? School building, hospital building, any function hall, any multiplex or any other industries, factories. So that should be compulsory planned, that is from the proposed project. Okay, so we have to plan this required data from the project. So that is nothing but the need for the proposal project. So these need we have to plan. So what is the use and what is the data we require, we have to compulsory plan. So that is nothing but the need for proposed project. And next, benefits expected after completion. So what are the benefits we are expecting from the planning? That also should be done. Okay, so this is the major thing we have to plan the benefits also. So if you are constructing any building or any structure, so it should be the give the benefits to the people. Okay, so if you construct the hospital, it will be useful for the public. Okay, if you construct any shopping mall and any function hall, it will be useful for the public. If you are constructing any school building or any college building, it will be useful for the school students and it will be useful for the college people students. Okay, so that is nothing but benefit. Okay, so if you are constructing your own house, okay, so it will be benefit for you only. So this is nothing but data required for planning. Okay, so you should have compulsory a benefit whatever the construction it is. So that is only the main role of the civil engineering importance. Okay, and the next is details of the site survey and soil. Okay, so details of the site survey and soil, and here you can see after when we see in the site investigation, so whatever the principles we are getting, so we have to estimate the soil also. Okay, we have to calculate the soil density and soil bearing capacity, and we have to see the site condition, and we have to test it in the laboratory reports. So after getting the laboratory reports, so the details of the site surveying ground levels also should be checked, whether the ground is in the flat surface or whether the ground is in the undulating surface. That should be checked in the details of site survey. Okay, so and we have to test the soil compulsory. If the loose or the soil density is not good, the construction work cannot be done, because the foundation should be bear the heavy loads in the soil. So if the soil is in the good condition, the construction structure will be having long life. If the construction process of the soil is not in good condition, then the structure will be collapsed or failure. Okay, so this is one of the major important detail. And next is availability of material, manpower and machinery. So as I have told in the just previous now, so material also should be available, manpower, the workers should be available, and machinery. So this is also another important point as we have to discuss regarding the machinery also. So what type of machineries are we required in the planning? So whether it is a concrete mixer, and whether for excavating the soil we need the earthwork excavator, and whether we need the dozer, and for smooth finishing of soil we need the just like dozer or any soil compactor, and for the concrete work we need the vibrator needle. Okay, and we need the tractor for taking the soil from one place to another place, and we need the small vehicles which are supplying the materials. So and we need the crane to lifting from down to up. So these are all required machineries, and for these machineries also the operators should be there. They should be very skilled and very trained. Okay, so these all are required for the plan. So in this planning, it is the very important points. So just we have discussed also. And next is funds available. So for every planning, this is a major important point. So if the proper funds are not there, so we cannot do any type of work. So this is another major important point. So for any planning, so how this planning will be done? First the funds only. Okay, with the help of funds, the concerned, the lump sum amount, how much we are having, that will be planned. That is called funds available. And these funds, how much it is there, and how much we have to invest in the planning, and how much the structure will be completed within the funds, that we have to be checked out, and we have to calculate with the approximate amount the funds are available or not. So if the funds are not there, you cannot do the any construction work, so that we cannot plan any type of work also. So the majorly the funds should be available, for any type of planning. Okay, and the next is communication facilities. So the communication facilities means transport facilities or any telephone facilities or any mailing. So the material should be get from one place to another place to the construction site. So whether it will be get in one day or in 1 week or when in 1 month. So the transportation facilities or communication facilities should be very good without disturbing anything. So this should be there in the concerned data. So if this problem will occur, the communication problem will get. So if the communication problem will be there, the planning will be not successfully implemented. Okay. So the communication is the another important category for the planning. Okay. So because to inform from site level to head office level, they should need the communication, just like internet facilities or any telecom facilities. Okay, so the proper signal should be there in the construction sites. So these all should be there, and transport facility is also another very important point. Okay, so that is called the communication facilities. And next is weather conditions in the locality. So you can see here in our India, the weather conditions will be changing as per the seasons. Okay, so in whatever the site condition you are constructing the work, the weather condition should be normal. So it should not be more hot, and weather it should not be more cool, or weather it should not be very heavy tide winds. Okay, and the groundwater levels also should be checked, whether it is a river site or any floods affected area, that also should be checked in the locality. Okay, so if the proper condition of the site is okay from the above required points, so then you can start the construction work. Okay, so this is done all called planning. So these are all points are required to keep them in the mind for the planning. So if any planning will be not done without keeping any things in the proper mind, so the things will be not done smoothly. Okay, and the next is availability of water, power, etc. So here for construction work, the water is the major thing. So without water we cannot mix the cement also. That is obviously know everyone. Okay, so water is the major thing. So here water also, what type of water should be available, whether any sea water is available, whether any salt contained water is available, or any other uh, uh, bore water is available. So that type of water should be checked and taken sample from the to the laboratories, and we have to check the acidic pH 7 content of the water. If it is normal water, we can use in the construction works for the drinking or for the mixing of cement or any other works. Okay, and for curing also the water should be checked. And next is power. So this power is also very important. At the night time we need the light facilities. Okay, and for the vibrator works or any machineries to run in the construction, we need the power. The power is the major thing. Okay, so this is nothing but the data required for the planning. And the next is dependability of sources of material available and their distance from the site. So whatever the site location we have seen, we have planned, so we have to check the materials which are available, that is at the distance from the site. So nearby site the materials are available, so it will be no problem for the construction, so that we can do very smoothly and very fastly if the sources of material are dependability available. Okay, so from the far distance from the site, it is any kilometers or any from other state to from one state, so it will be so much problem. Okay, so at that time the construction sites will be not planned or not selected also. So the material should be available compulsory nearby site, that is the first priority. And next is factors which may cause delay. So generally you can see some of the factors which will be causing for the planning, just like materials will be not coming time, and the workers will be not coming in time, or any strike will be happen. Okay, and any materials are delay in coming, okay, or any other works are pending, or any other drawing plans were not given. So these are nothing but some of the factors which will be getting delay in the sites, okay. And type of skills required. So here the skills are required for the compulsory in the planning. So a planning engineer should be a graduate engineer or any essential qualification. He should be very skilled, and he should know the how the project would be done, and it should be implemented in the constructions, okay. So this leads to the leadership qualities, and the proper communication skills are required, okay. So who everyone cannot plan the planning of a structure. Only the certain people who have know the all the essentials regarding the planning, only the we will call types of skills required. And the next is importance of planning. So up to now we have seen the data required for planning. Now let us see the importance of planning. So why this planning is important? Now let us see here. It is helps in anticipating the future course of events. So that means this importance of planning is decides it will be helps in the anticipating future. So if you done in a proper planning in a correct way, it will be useful for the another project also. So just like it will be implemented, and it will be the future any upcoming projects are there, it will be successful. And next, it prevents wastage of time, money and material, and ensures proper utilization of resources. So the first onwards I am saying this word. So if the proper planning is there, the proper time will be maintained, money will be not wastage, and materials also will be getting time. If the planning is not there, if you not done any proper planning or anything, so you will be wasting of time, because the time when goes again it not comes back, okay. And if the money also wastage is, you will be losing the project, okay. And the materials also which are not available in time, you will be not get the proper resources. So these all problems will be getting in the planning. So that's why we have to plan, that is called preliminary planning, okay. And the next is it helps in deciding the organization needed to achieve the objectives. So the organization means, suppose you take the any one construction company, okay. So in that company we will call it as an organization. If the staff or any workers are working, or the engineers which are having planning regarding the idea how to plan and how to work, so the company will be developed in a smooth manner, and it will get the good results, okay. So if the proper planning is not there from the company or any workers or any engineers, so the work will be delayed, and the company name also will be delayed, okay. So the company name also will be gets down. So this is nothing but a key point for the company's growth. You can see so many types of MNC companies are there, just like L&T. You can see Latsa and Turbo company. So it is the world's #1 company. Why it is became world's #1? Because they are having the planning, proper preliminary planning. Their engineers or staff are very good in the planning. So that's why they don't have the wastage of time, they don't have waste the money, and they will get in the time within the materials, okay. All the resources are available within their company now, okay. So that is nothing but their organization will be useful with the help of the staff, and it is increased its growth, and it has become the top company. So just like so many companies are there, so every company is should be have the proper planning itself. And next is it gives direction and attention on objectives. So whatever the planning we are doing, it gives the direction also how the work should be done, and it helps to offset change and uncertainty to eliminate risk and losses. So if you done the proper planning, you will know the what is the upcoming risks and what are the losses, okay. So if you not done the planning, so you will get suddenly loss or any risk. So that means nothing but uncertainty. We will call the uncertainty to eliminate, okay. So it will be offsetting the change, so before the planning. So and next is it lays down procedures policies, objectives and operations. So if you are planning the preliminary, so you will know the what is the process should be done in the upcoming, and what are the policies or any insurances are there, you will get well known. And it helps to avoid bottlenecks to carry out the work smoothly. So we cannot stop anywhere. If any problem occurs, it will be smoothly dealt because of preliminary planning. So whatever the problems we are getting, you will be well known before only, and after that you can rectify it and it can be carried out very smoothly. So that is nothing but regarding the importance of planning. So that's why we have to plan a structure before construction in the site. Whatever the structure it is, we have to plan before only. So the planning is very important in the construction industries. So where the proper planning is there, there the proper construction works will be run, okay, without any lossage or any damage. And here let us see now the summary. So we have discussed today preliminary planning and its importance, and conditions necessary for planning, okay, and data required for planning. So these are very important topics in the this chapter, okay. So preliminary planning and its importance, so conditions and data, okay. So these are the topics we have discussed today now. So try to keep in the mind wherever you construct a site, any other project work, we have to compulsory implement the planning, okay. So the planning is very important, compulsory. So that's why we have to think before the planning what the data is required, okay. So I hope everyone has understand, okay. Thank you, have a nice day.